Iowa lawmakers gathering in this morning in Des Moines for the start of the 2021 legislative session.
It's already off to an interesting start as a security breach on the U.S. Capitol and pandemic weigh heavily on the minds of legislators.
Our Iowa Capitol Bureau reporter Monica Madden has a recap of day one in our top story at 6.
The most visible difference from this time last year is masks, of course. However, Republican leaders decided not to require masks for everyone inside the Capitol, which means some lawmakers will be spending more time working remotely due to COVID concerns. And notably, the pandemic is already looming over this session. Republicans hold the majority in both chambers again and promise to deliver on taxation and education, while Democrats are pushing for using some of the state's budget surplus toward pandemic relief for Iowans in need. In the Senate, Majority Leader Jack Whitver focused on looking ahead, speaking to the challenges of 2020, but making his remarks about how he plans to deliver Iowa into recovery.
That recovery plan means sticking to those same principles guiding us the last several years. It means freedom to work. It means continuing to work on tax reform and putting more money back into the pockets of Iowans. It means ensuring the best education for Iowa students in the classroom where they learn best.
However, the Senate's new minority leader, Senator Zach Walz, struck a more somber tone in his remarks, pausing for a moment of silence to remember the lives lost to COVID-19.
This is an incredibly difficult time, and while it may get worse before it gets better, there is a deep understanding across this state and across this country that we are in this challenge together.
In the House, tense exchanges between leaders broke from the typical cordial bipartisan tone of opening day.
As an elected leader, I am disgusted at the reaction, or rather the inaction, of some and many of my Republican colleagues here in Iowa. For too long, politicians have not only enabled but served as a willing partner in the spread of misinformation about election fraud.
Let's show Iowans and the rest of the country that we can express our disagreements passionately, unequivocally, without resorting to violence, aggression, or contempt.
And as the nation is still gripping with the U.S. Capitol riots, there was a heavier presence of law enforcement officers at the State House today as a couple hundred Iowans gathered here to protest masks and vaccines. At the State House, I'm Monica Madden reporting.